Here's proof that Elon will soon be spending a lot more time at Tesla because Elon's Twitter Fix-It team fades out as Elon says transition is almost done. This is almost as good news as another buying opportunity. I was actually pretty sad today because I look at Tesla stock and I'm like, oh, it's down another 1.63%. I'm going to buy some. It's Saturday. Elon Musk told a court in Delaware on Wednesday that his reorganization of Twitter is almost done. And he'll spend less time on the company by the end of next week. This is really good news, but this is where we have a little bit more proof that further suggests that this is indeed true. The team of lieutenants he assembled to help with the transition is already inching toward the door. The main reason why you would have that happening is because you are finishing the restructuring and things are starting to settle down and things are looking better. During the early days of the transition, Musk's right-hand men were everywhere. For example, David, who worked with Musk at PayPal, discussed ideas with Twitter's product team, while Jason, a former scout for the venture firm Sequoia Capital, met with advertisers and marketers. And also, we have some possible insight into who could be the CEO of Twitter. All three of them were seen in the office in the days immediately after the deal closed. At first, they eagerly discussed their involvement, including tweeting about it, and then, not so much. And this is where we get a little bit of an idea of how Elon runs his companies. In getting so involved, they stepped outside the traditional purview of venture capitalists who generally avoid prominent roles not linked to their own startup companies and whose expertise lies in helping early-stage, high-growth businesses. Take a listen here. It is rather peculiar for seasoned venture capitalists to devote their time to such a long-established company, said a finance professor at the University of California at Davis. What do you think? Is Twitter going to be a company that's not going to grow like it barely did before, or is it going to be a high growth company? Why do you think Elon is bringing people that specialize in growing companies? People that he really trusts? Is it perhaps because he's planning to grow it very, very, very fast? And what's another thing that you oftentimes do in small, fast-growing companies? You make mistakes and then you change quickly. For example, the launch of a new verification tool in early November was quickly reversed. We saw, for example, Mario showing his middle finger on official Nintendo Twitter account. That was interesting. Thousands of people have been laid off, with some asked to return days later. So, you remember that saying from Elon Musk? The best part is no part. If you are not adding at least 10% of the parts that you delete, you are not deleting enough. This is the exact same kind of thinking and approach that Elon is taking. Elon is just not just talking, you have to delete parts. He's actually doing that. Interestingly, Elon said that the issue of the bots on the platform is what drove him to want to acquire and reform Twitter, and it's also what made him try to back out of a deal. This is interesting. And this is where we get a possible idea of who's Twitter's CEO could be. People would instantly say, I'll pay for this $5 or $10 a month, Jason said on his All-In podcast addressing a potential fix to the bots issue. And then he also said, put me in the game, coach. Jason wrote in a text to Musk that came to light during litigation over the deal. That's I believe he's referring to the Twitter lawsuit, not the $56 billion lawsuit that Musk is going through right now. And then he said, Jason, the venture capitalist, Twitter CEO is my dream job. Now, that idea, I don't know, are you willing to pay $10 a month just to be verified? I think if you are a big user of Twitter, you are probably, especially if you got followers, because that just gives you probably more followers, because when you reply to other people, you appear higher. So that makes sense. But if you don't really tweet much, you just go on Twitter to look for tweets, I don't think many people would pay for that. What do you think? But I have YouTube Premium. I love it. I saw one of those double ads. I'm like, I'm getting YouTube Premium. With Twitter, I don't see that much of a push for most people to be verified if you are not tweeting a crazy amount. So clearly there was a lot of involvement, which of course comes with a risk when something blows up, like so far, the verified feature has blown up. So far, I think Elon will fix it. This blunder is especially sort of a little bit silly and funny. In one instance, a user impersonating the pharmaceutical company tweeted that the business's insulin products would henceforth be free, briefly sending the shares of the actual company down. Lilly's shares took a battering the day after the tweet, dropping more than 6% and wiping billions of dollars from its market cap. This was a big deal. Bernie would love that one. Elon already announced to relaunch Twitter Blue, which is scheduled for November 29th, and told remaining employees that they need to accept working long hours at high intensity. And now today, The Sun is reporting that 75% reportedly preferred severance, which would leave Twitter with fewer than 1,000 employees. Yesterday, that was still a little bit of a most likely a fact, or somewhat in the speculation category still, but now it is confirmed. And let's just check if Twitter is working. Okay, it is working. Oh, what is this? Huh. Yeah, definitely not a bribe. He just means, this was just showering with money so as to have no influence whatsoever on their editorial decisions and coverage. This is what he means when referring to the FTX scandal. Earlier, when I was speaking of Bernie, this is Bernie. I meant, the one who likes to con people. So, of course, you would have loved that whole con with the free insulin, right? I mean, he stole $64.8 billion. Woo! FTX scandal is pretty big, but thankfully not as big. But if you'd like to read some more drama, pause this. All of these tweets are from David Sachs, by the way, one of the guys that is helping Elon to, rebuild Twitter. And this is David, so him saying, Elon's the CEO, he's running it, he's the decider, he's making the decisions. David said on his November 4th podcast, they're just helping a friend. So imagine this. Almost everyone leaves, and Twitter is still working just fine because the best people are staying. That's why the site is still working. That's why I'm not worried that there would be a Twitter shutdown. Even if there is a temporary one, it's not going to be a big deal, I don't think. They're going to fix it very quickly. They will revamp the whole thing. Elon wants to get to 1 billion users on Twitter, so of course he needs to make some changes. I look forward to all the Twitter drama going away, just like many of you look forward to the next video. You should subscribe if you haven't yet and like the video. These are 48 reasons why I only own Tesla stock in my stock portfolio. My name is Matt Postis. I'll see you later today. Thank you so much for watching.